Hello, welcome to the theme vlog of January. I feel like I need to describe how this vlog came to be. Because you may be going, what the fuck is this? So months ago, I was hanging out with Stingray, helping them plan vlogs, because apparently I'm just the person you ask for that shit. It makes sense. Who does all the planning for everything? Me. And I was like, you know what, while I'm at it, while I'm here, I might as well plan the first quarter of the year vlog and podcast wise. Makes sense. And then I did all the vlogs for the whole entire year and half the year in podcast. I'm saying, now I was thinking the general theme for this year for themed vlogs is things on covers, like design on covers, whatnot. Makes sense because it's been about a year. I want to say it's been a year. I think the purple episode of the monochromatic vlog was February, so I want to say it's been a year. I think that was the last one. Maybe it was pink. The last one was like February. So it makes sense. It's been about a year since I've done a thing where I did books based off of what's on the cover or covers and all that fun jazz. Now this one Stingray came up with before I decided that was basically the theme for the year, and I love them, but dear God. So I went, hey, what should my vlog for January be? And they went, grass. I'm pretty sure I brought up something like, grass, you mean grass in the month where all I have is snow? And they went, yeah, grass. I'm like, we didn't have an actual snowfall, like good snowfall where we had snow for longer than 2 days until like a week ago. It's the middle of January and I'm doing a reading vlog around grass. They did pick 3 books. I switched one of them out because I couldn't get it in time. That's the Hacienda. The waitlist on the library is too long, which is like good for the author. Hell yeah. I'm gonna keep my hold on it, but because I don't have time to wait for that, because this is being moved up, I am now going to be reading the 4th We Were Children book, right? It has grass in the title. I wish I was on the 6th one, because the 6th one has grass in the title and it's all grass, right? I did Anastasia to Leaves of Grass, which is like a 600 something page poetry collection classic, but there technically is no grass on the cover on the edition that I see. So I went, okay, this is what we're doing. Instead, because it's pretty short, which makes sense for something that I can switch it with easily, and what I already downloaded the ebook on my Kindle. We're good to go on that one, right? Read that in like 2 hours. Honestly, I think they hate me. Not this whole thing, thankfully. I'm pretty sure Persuasion is the one that is on my 24 and 2024, which means other than the one that I'm going to be reading this month, the only other one I'll have to read is Northanger Abbey. Mansfield Park. I read Northanger Abbey late last year, is Mansfield Park that I'll have to read. And then I'll have read the whole entire thing. Which is wild. Right? But they said, Emma, I'm gonna put the book cover, I assume they're talking about. I don't know. They went through my TBR, so it should be the same cover that I see, right? So putting that up there, because that's the one we're going off of. I mean, this has plants, so like matches the vibe kind of. And then the other one, I am gonna do dual reading. I usually don't for Jane Austen's. I like to just sit there and just relax and read the whole thing, right? But I think I'm going to dual read it because the things I've heard about Emma, it is the one that I'm least likely to like. And so I feel like an audiobook will help me in that aspect. The other one just gonna be fully audiobook, and that is How to Travel the World in 80 Days. Is that the title of it? I don't remember. Same cover that they chose, I'm assuming. I don't know. They picked 2 classics out of the blue. They hate me. So I'm gonna have 2 classics done in the first month. Okay, I guess. Fine with me. Maybe get ahead of my reading goals. Sure. Makes sense. But yeah, that is the plan. I kind of want to do both the Jules Verne and the Wayward Children tomorrow, Saturday. And then Sunday, just read Emma. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Read both of them or all three of them in a weekend, you know, like a weekend reading vlog. But yeah, that is the plan. Also, I feel like I should bring up the thumbnail is created by them, which is great because it's all their vision. This whole entire vlog is their vision. I did ask to make sure if it's okay if I switched out the book, and they did laugh at me saying Leaves of Grass being the one, because that would have been funny because they would have all three been classics and all this stuff. But they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, makes sense. And I do want to continue with the Wayward Children series. You know, make some progress in some of these series I'm reading, you know. But yeah, that they also make a thumbnail, which is great because I have no clue what to do for this. With that, I gotta find something green to wear. I don't own green. Do we remember the green chromatic reading vlog where I had a hard time finding anything green, so I just wore the same random cardigan that we have in this house that I don't know who it belongs to, and I just wore it I just put it on top of whatever I was wearing whenever I had to record. After today, I'm just gonna wear Baby Yoda t-shirts. I have like 6, and they're all mintish green blue. I can't tell. I'm pretty sure mint isn't a real color. I can't see it. But I'm just gonna wear those, and then they can deal with that. I don't, like, but yeah, that's the plan for this vlog. I will update you sometime noon tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have finished maybe the Wayward Children book by then. I don't know. The Jules Verne is like, I already found the audiobook because it's like easy, right? And it's like 7 hours, so I can read that in just over 2, basically. Easily. So like play some Stardew Valley and just listen to it. Great. I've been trying to find something to listen to while I play Stardew Valley anyways, because I'm caught up on some of my podcasts somehow. Okay, quick update, because I just got ice cream. I want to eat my ice cream. So you don't get much. Yesterday, Saturday, I read something like 36% of the Wayward Children book. It's fine. I'll probably give it 3.5 stars, maybe 4. Right? And here's why. If I haven't read really any Goblin Market retellings since like 3 months ago. And now, if I had a quarter for every single one I've read in the past like 3 months, it would only be 2, which is not that many, but it's still weird. Right? That never before, and then all of a sudden I'm reading 2. And the last one I also found very mid, which was I forget the name of. Not Good for Maidens, something like that. Right? Did a whole podcast episode about it, where the title of the episode I was like, it's mediocre, because we were like, eh. And that one so far was gayer. This one, the magic system is explained more and better, and I enjoy that. And I do like Lundy's character more than most of those characters. But like, it's still just like not my favorite apparently. So it's slow going for that reason only. I could totally get the audiobook. It's super easy. But I don't think I want to. I don't know. I feel like the aspect of like her going back and forth between the market and our world, throughout the time of her whole entire adolescence up until she's 18 and then she can choose, and then knowing from the first book that something happens where she has like some curse or something where she progressively gets younger instead of older, so that at one point she can actually go back, right? I feel like that's the thing, right? And so yeah, but then the things that happened in the first one happened. So yeah, but it's fine, whatever. Also today started the audiobook of Around the World in 80 Days. So now I know the premise, which is basically this rich guy makes a bet with some other rich guys that he can totally go around the world in 80 days, with modernization in like the 1800s. And then late 1800s, I'm pretty sure. And then goes to do this, and recently there has been a bank robbery, and so the fact that he looks somewhat like the description of the bank robber, and then suddenly he's just leaving town, like immediately, like he's very much the type of guy who has a system and everyday thing that he goes and does, and the fact that he switched up to do this and immediately left town slash the country and is going around the world is a little suspicious to the police, and they're like, this must be the bank robber. That's kind of what's happening. I'm like 15% of the way through. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't know. I want to finish Boyzone today. We'll see. I don't know. It's like 10 p.m. I'm drinking really shitty hot chocolate. A lot of sugar at this time of night is a good idea, right? Anyways, I just finished Around the World in 80 Days. It's fine. My review of the Reds is just like rich white men shit, because like the amount of money, just the idea that I, a woman in 2024, will probably not see the amount of money in my life that this man just spent to get back only $1,000 or pounds, because the money he got from winning the bet only made up the expenses. Like, the bet was like half of his whole entire bank account, and the other half he took with him for expenses, and all of that except for 1,000 pounds was used or something like that. So like he only made back, I don't know, something like that. The whole thing with like them assuming that he's the bank robber. Yeah, they arrested the real bank robber, so this just random detective was stalking him and arrested him for no reason. I did like it when he punched him in the face for it, because he thought he had lost a bet. 10 out of 10. I read more of the Wayward Children book. I want to finish it tonight so I can read all of them tomorrow. We'll see. Hello, hi. It's Tuesday. You know, the preview for this is supposed to go up. I'm only halfway through the Wayward Children book. But I've reached 25% to Emma. I'm going to try to read all of this tonight, which is difficult because it's 7 p.m. Thoughts and opinions so far. Thankful I thought ahead and got the audiobook as well, because I get the point of this is to show Emma's character growth and whatnot and throughout the book, and how her whole entire thing is thinking how she knows best, especially about everyone else and their feelings about everyone, and so that's why she will make the perfect matchmaker and whatnot. Currently she's trying to set up this girl named Harriet who she's friends with this other guy. It's very clear that this other guy is actually into Emma, and her brother-in-law just informed her that, hey, I think he's into you. She's like, no way, but like now she's at a dinner party with him and her friend's like sick, so she's not there, and she's like, oh, wait a second, right? So that's happening, and it's like very clear that she has very heavy prejudice. Like that friend had a very good marriage proposal, but she made her turn it down because like he may be rich, but he's just a farmer, and all this stuff, right? And I am pretty sure the whole entire plot of this book is just her figuring out or realizing how she isn't the perfect person, and all this stuff, and how Knightley is like the only person who tells her that when she's wrong, and that's why they're good together, and whatnot. So because of that, for that character growth, Emma has to be an unlikable character. I don't like unlikable characters, especially when I have to read from their point of view, right? Like, what's a book that I really liked? The Magic Pies one. I rated it like 5 stars. It was in my like top 10 of the year. I didn't like one of the side characters. she was so unlikable to me, but I still really liked the book, right? But when it's the main character, I have a hard time. Bleeding Earth. That's an example of that. I hated that book because it was an unlikable character. This is written well enough with like the whole point of it. I'm understanding why she's unlikable, all this stuff, so I don't mind it. But an audiobook is helping me get through it because I think otherwise this would take me multiple days to do, which I don't have time for at this moment in time, right? And whatnot. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, I don't know if I brought up, but the cover of Around the World in 80 Days, there's so little grass in that. There's so little grass in that. There's like only grass in the corner. Anyways, I will update you probably tomorrow morning first thing with thoughts and opinions on Emma, on this bad boy, as well as the Wayward Children book. Currently, my thoughts are the same that they were before. Goblin Market, not the biggest fan. I do like how there is more understanding, like it delves more into the magic system than the other Goblin Market book I've read somewhat recently. But it's still like not my favorite just because, right? And whatnot. The end. It's like after 8 p.m. the day this vlog goes up. Whoops. I did read all of Emma last night, right? I'm giving it 4 stars. I'm glad I did the audiobook. The audiobook was great. It was just whatever one pops up when you first search it on script/everend, right? Yeah, no, I liked the audiobook. I think I rated the same that I rated Sense and Sensibility. I liked the general overall not experience, but like story of Sense and Sensibility, but I like the romance and the point and the character growth and whatnot of this one. Most of it was 3.5 until I want to say the last, like, I think it was like 80 pages for me, so it would have been 160 pages in a normal book, right? Because it gets wild every single time. I feel like that happens in Jane Austen, where things just start chaotically happening. When he admits he loves her, I will give it that it's a little weird that he's like 16 years her senior, and he admits that he first fell in love with her when she was 13. But I will also give it that she's like in her mid to 20s now, right? And he didn't start showing her his affection for her until after, one, she grew as a person, 2, she experienced romance outside of like the possibility of them, because she had this flirtation with this other guy, and then he was like, oh, you must be in love with him, and blah blah blah. So that's why I didn't say anything, and she's like, actually no, it was just nice flirting with a guy for a bit. I like the attention, and also that some other things that I can't remember off the top of my head where I was going with that, but basically it took his time. I didn't say anything until a long bit afterwards, and around that time she had also realized her own feelings for him, but was willing to step back for like her friend thinking her friend was in love with him, and so all this stuff. Alright, Emma's character growth, spectacular. Good times. I want to watch the Anna Taylor-Joy movie, right? When I checked yesterday, it was like free on Peacock, so I may watch that soon, actually. But yeah, 4 stars. It was good. We love Jane Austen. The way I've heard the line when he admits his love for her, where he's like, if I loved you any less, I'd be able to talk about it more, right? But still, I was screaming. It was a good time. Yeah, I think I finished that at like 11:30 p.m. And then this afternoon, I read the second half of the Wayward Children book. I'm excited for the next one, because the next one is another Jack and Jill one, and other than the first one, the only one that I've really liked is the Jack and Jill one, where it's like their past, and I was like, oh, if only there was one, like I want to know more what happened after the first one. That's the next one. That's book 5. Me. So I'm excited for that. This one was about a teacher in book 1 who, when things happen, named Lundy, and how she has like this whole thing in book 1 where she de-ages over time slowly. Despite the fact that she's like 40 or something, right? She's like 12 years old. But she still has like the knowledge of like the 40 years and blah blah blah. So like the experience of her going through the doors. I already talked about the goblin market aspect. I did like the world of the goblin market, how it was explained. Of the 2 goblin market books that I've read in the past like 6 months, it was the one that I liked more in that aspect. And I did like her whole entire thing of like where she's all like talking to her sister in this world and be all like, I couldn't die old here. Or I couldn't grow old here. It would kill me and stuff like that. And then she goes to through the door and makes a deal in the goblin market that makes it so that she will never grow old and will just die as she's currently de-aging and all this stuff. That was tragic. But like the back and forth of it was fine. I like the aspect of her going back home and like how her being in this other world for years, and then having to reintegrate into society and family connections and how they perceive everything that's happening and stuff like that. That aspect was cool. That's like kind of my favorite part. But like, it was annoying. I get why Moon was not the biggest fan of it, because I wasn't the biggest fan of it and I was reading it. So I'm giving it 3 stars. Also, it took me like 5 days to read a 150-page book. Make it make sense. Yeah. So I did put the hold on the next one in the series, but that's just because like I can read it any week and it intrigues me, so that's happening. But yeah, 3 stars. So basically Emma's the winner of the vlog with 4 stars. Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days, got 3, and so did Wayward Children, number 4. In an Absent Dream, that's what's called, In an Absent Dream. I finally remember the name of it. And that's that. That's everything. I'm gonna go. Shout out to Bessie for making me do this and also making the thumbnail. They will be linked below. And I think that's all I have to say. Next video shall be the finishing series vlog. Normally it's like a week-long thing, but it's gonna be 2 weeks this month because I got sick. So a lot of books happening. And that I'm gonna go edit this whole entire thing. So until the next video.